Welcome to Rollingintentions. My name is Jason. Today, we are playing Lord of the Rings, the card game, as you guys probably see it on the screen. It is a game by Fantasy Flight, and this program that I'm using is called Octagon. You can go ahead and go to OCTGN if you wish to go online. And if you wish to have a game with me, just go ahead and contact me using the information below. I am looking to have some games with some other people. There's not a whole lot of people on, I guess, on Octagon itself who play Lord of the Rings, at least not when I do. So I wouldn't mind having a couple of games with somebody. But either way, this is part of the progression series, so we're going to continue on. I don't quite remember which one I was on, to be completely honest. I will see it once I look down through the list of decks. And I'm sure I will see which one I completed and which one I did not. I do remember I lost. That's about it. Anyways, so before I continue on, and this will probably be posted on Facebook before anybody else gets to actually see this, but I am going to randomly go ahead and pick a winner for the little giveaway that I was doing earlier. So that was 2 weeks ago. I said if you go ahead and go to the Facebook page, and you just click a like on the Pacific post, you'll enter for a giveaway. I also said if you email me, I will also add you in. So I already picked the winner. So yeah, that was quick. But it was at random, and the actual, so what the prize was, or at least the giveaway, was for a Nightmare deck out of the core set. So the reason why I was being so vague about it is because I did not go I actually didn't have it. Literally did not have it. And it took me a while to get to my gaming store, or the gaming store that has some supplies of Lord of the Rings. To be completely honest, they no longer supply it. So they got a bunch of leftovers. So I literally blew the dust off of this pack, and I bought it. As well as a couple other things, a couple other Nightmare packs. Maybe I'll be doing another giveaway, or maybe not. I'm not a big fan of the Nightmare decks. But I will be playing them at some point. If I get through the progression series and I'm that bored, I will go ahead and do another round with the Nightmare decks. And you can watch me lose and lose and lose, and then eventually I'll just stop playing because I'll lose so much. But anyways, I'm sure with your help, you guys can help me get along, and we'll be able to beat all these quests. Though I'm pretty sure that once I get to the Nightmare decks, I may end up specifically making decks for those quests. Because of quests, for those quests, because it's going to be near impossible to beat them, I guess. I don't know. I have never played Nightmare before, but I also picked up another one. So, first of all, I will announce what the actual pack is, but I'm sure once again you'll see all this on Facebook. But to me, this is new, so I'm going to go ahead and say it. So, the Nightmare deck that I have in my hand, that I'm shaking in the microphone, is the Journey Along to Anduin. It is the Nightmare deck for that. I've never even looked at the cards yet. The pack is closed and dusty. It's still got a bit of dust on it. I couldn't get it all off. It's just sitting there for such a long time. Mainly, I guess not a lot of people have been buying it here locally. But you know what? I think I have stirred some up because I've got about 5 or 6 players that started very recently. I don't know if it had anything to do with me. I like to think it did because I started playing before they did. But then again, I had a friend who started playing before I did. It was just the only reason I found out this game. And to tell you the truth, when I first found out, I was not impressed. I was playing the game. Okay, yeah. But anyways, I was playing the Game of Thrones, the Game of Thrones card game, the first edition. And yes, I do play the second edition, or play. I will use quotation marks for that, mainly because I have a box with the cards, all sleeves, and a couple decks made, but I've not found anybody to play with yet. I do have a couple of friends who play. We just never can get the time to spend together, mainly because my schedule at work is wonky, which is probably why you're seeing down the clock down there. Yes, that is 12:41 a.m., and yes, that is kind of late. But and technically, yes, I am a day late, but I gave the full 2 weeks if you want to be legit about it. And that's it. That's life. So then my friend introduced me into the Game of Thrones. Well, sorry, not Game of Thrones. I introduced him to Game of Thrones, and then he introduced me into another fantasy flight game, Lord of the Rings, the card game, which luckily I fell in love with right after playing. I played a really crappy Gondor deck, and proceedingly played crappier decks, and still do, but for a very long time before I actually started going, hey, this game is really awesome. But I was already hooked at that point, so that is it. So, yes, who's going to win this Nightmare deck of Journey Along to Anduin? Well, according to my random dice generator, the winner of the Nightmare deck, Journey Along to Anduin, which you've probably already seen on Facebook, is, well, here it is, Frank Barnhouse. So, Frank Barnhouse, I will contact you on Facebook right after this video is done. And, of course, it's going to take some editing and uploading before that actually, for anyone else sees it. So you'll probably get a message before, and hopefully I'm not going to wake you up, and I don't even know because I got a weird time zone. I'm in Newfoundland, which is like 4.5 hours away. I don't know. GTS or G General Good Mountains time zone, whatever. Anyways, the winner of that pack is Frank Barnhouse. So congratulations, Frank. Yeah, thanks for listening to me. This is just something I do on the side, and the fact that I've got some people who are actually listening to my rants, my solo rants. Good on you. It takes a brave soul to do so. I can guarantee you, because I would not listen to myself. But all right, cool. And maybe you're just doing it for the free stuff. You know what? That's cool too. I'm going to give more free stuff away. So not right now, because I'm broke. But hey, I do have another Nightmare deck in my hand that I'm shaking. But to tell you the truth, I may wait on that. And I might want to keep it myself. You know what? I'm a greedy person. That's what it seems like. But either way, I may end up going ahead and giving another pack away or something. I think the store that I buy my stuff might just be trying to get rid of all their stuff. And you know what? That's only a benefit for all of you out there. You may end up getting packs and duplicates, but hey, there's nothing wrong with duplicates. A good duplicate hero can go in 2 decks, right? And even though you'll have decks with the same hero in it, that's sometimes, like, who can't do with 5 or 6 or 7 like Spirit Glorfindels, right? I mean, you can literally put him in any deck. So speaking of Spirit Glorfindel, he probably won't be in this game, but anyways. So before I actually start, okay, look, I know I usually get straight to business here, and I'm sure you guys are going to let me know you don't want to listen to my rants and shit. But I'm going to talk a little bit. I'm going to have a little discuss with you people about So we just, I guess, Wednesday. I don't know. I'm trying to calculate how long ago that was. It felt like yesterday, but I don't think it is. No, it's not. It's a couple days ago. But anyways, I was playing Lord of the Rings card game with a friend of mine, Corey, who I'm trying to get on the podcast. Now, you may have seen a while ago. I don't even know if it was a year ago or something like that. He was on the podcast. Sorry, not podcast. I said YouTube channel or whatever, but I call it a podcast because sometimes we do podcast stuff. At the moment, it's pretty podcasty because there's nothing on the screen and you guys are being bored to death. But anyways, maybe I should put up a screensaver. Anyways, so he, I never asked him, so I kind of forgot. But I was going to ask him to come on and record some stuff. And he's kind of a new player. But you know what? He knows the books pretty well. Certainly more than I do. I've seen the movies. And I've read the synopsis, but I've never actually read the books. So, yes, I'm a shithead. But I do really love the lore. And to tell you the truth, I love the lore of the card game just as much as I love the lore of the Saga expansions. Speaking of the Saga expansions, we are in the middle of that Saga expansion for Lord of the Rings, like the original Lord of the Rings storyline. And we had 2 decks. And man, was it, I mean... We've been playing the saga. We've been playing the campaign, sorry, and I hate to say this, but we've been kind of smashing it. Now, we did have a bad start in the last one we did, and I'm trying to remember what the last one was called. Goodness gracious, it was the second last one in the Road Darkened. So it was when we entered Moria. And it had the Balrog. Oh my goodness, I can't remember the name of the actual quest itself. Something probably Peril or something. Actually, I have it. I have the book right in front of me here, so maybe I can actually look it up. And funny enough, I just a little bit of a story. So that was Journey in the Dark that we were doing. So next is Breaking the Fellowship. So we got through Journey of the Dark. Now, when we first started playing Journey in the Dark, we sort of forgot about the ring and all this stuff because we took like a month and a half break from the saga because we used to play it every week, and we even used to get through two if we were fast enough, right? So there was a couple that we like Flight to the Forward we were really quick about, so we just went to the next one. And you know what, we thought we were going to get through this one pretty quickly, but we figured it was going to be dangerous. You know, Moria being like pretty much the bane of all existence, and you know what it was. When we first started playing, we got smashed. We've been playing these saga expansions without actually looking at the quest beforehand, so it's been completely surprised when everything came out. But when we first started, we didn't ring off one of the orc commander guys, and he smashed me, and then another guy came out and he automatically attacked the first player, so it was really bad. But he was playing actually, you know, his deck sort of influenced one of mine. He's playing a Hobbit int deck, so mostly hobbits. Well, actually, it's all the hobbits, which is from the Hobbit box set. Yeah, from the Hobbit box set. No, from the Lord of the Rings box set, the first one. That's right. It was the Merry, Pippin, and what was the other one? Merry, Pippin, and Sam from the first box set. And I mean, all about low threat, keeping I think his threat was 20 starting off. And, you know, it's all about trying to keep the threat low as possible. Now, he doesn't have as many cards as I do, but he has the good ones. He's been buying them pretty frequently, too. And I've been buying mine from Meeple Mart, which is a Canadian supplier. Well, I guess technically it's a store, but it's like a warehouse because they got so much stuff. Like I go on their site, and I have never been there. I've never been to Meeple Mart, but it's in Toronto, and I can only picture what size of building it must be to carry all this stuff. But regardless, he buys it from Team Covenant, which is also amazing. You know, supporting our American friends who are listening to this. And Team Covenant is also probably one of the best organizations to come out of existence. I mean, they are gaming reborn. They flourish upon new ideas, innovative thinking, such as a lot of the Fantasy Flight games, and as well, of course, even some of the stuff like Burning Wheel and such. Because we played Burning Wheel on our Rollingintentions RPG side of it. And I love that game. So, you know, Burning Wheel and Mouse Guard and all that sort of stuff. Anyways, before I get into that much, because once again, you guys are probably not here to listen to RPGs, because otherwise you would go ahead and listen to something else in our playlist. But I know I'm taking a long time here. I got something to say, and I'm going to blah, blah, blah. So if you wish to, I'll put in a thing in the comments below of when I actually start playing so that you can just skip this junk. But so what I was saying was, so we got to play Journey Through the Dark, and he was playing that Hobbit int deck. So, you know, the odd thing is that I don't think I've seen a single int until the end of the game. So that was really weird. We did see the Sam's pony come in about twice or three times. So I don't know if you're aware, or you may be or may not be, but the whole idea between it is in the first quest, you're kind of sneaking around, not trying to cause any trouble. And anytime you engage an enemy, it kind of counts down this timer. And this timer is called Doom, 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 which is a objective that's laying around inside the staging area. And I think it comes on like three. I might be wrong, but I think it's 10 tokens, or it might be like 3 times the amount of players. I think it's just 10 tokens, and it just starts counting down every turn. But if you engage a character on the first quest, it ticks down, and there are cards that tick it down too, like treacheries and whatnot. Anyways, so I was playing my Sylvan deck, which you've already seen several times. The only difference is I noticed that there was a lot of conditions in this quest because we failed the first time, like just completely wiped out. So we just reset it back to par and tried again with the same heroes instead of letting ourselves just die. But I did end up putting down the power of Orthok or Onthok, which is because I don't have lore in my well, I do have a bit of lore, but I mean it's a lore Sylvan character. Technically, I could go with a lore based character or an ally to get rid of conditions because of Eleanor, but because of Galadriel and Galadriel's ring. But I decided to go ahead and just put in the power of Orthanc, Olthok, which is a zero cost lore. Maybe it brings up her threat a little bit, brings it up by 2, but it gets rid of conditions on either side, and that seemed to be helpful, except for I never got it. Luckily, he was playing lore, so he ended up putting in a dwarf for the Iron Hills or something like that, and got rid of a condition when we needed it. Now, sadly, one of the condition, the burdens right off the hop come out, and if you take a damage, one of them goes to your hero, and if you lose a character, the other one goes on. Then I'm pretty sure Galadriel had a condition the entire game, but where she was already exhausting, and I put a what did I put on her? I put a oh my goodness, I should know this. Oh my god, I got the deck right here. Unexpected Courage, is it? Yeah, I think it's Unexpected Courage. Yeah, so I ended up putting an Unexpected Courage on her. And so, I mean, even though she was getting cards, she was also using her for quest or to add quest points. So it worked out fairly well. And yeah, so in the end, we did win. Of course, we didn't have anybody die, but it took a long time. There was a point though where, so here's the funny thing. The funny thing is that ever since that we've been playing the Saga campaign, Frodo. Who is that neutral? Not, I guess not neutral. He's the Fellowship sphere. He was sitting out in the, I guess, being shared between both of us. We just kind of put him in the middle. But he had the Underhill Trait. So the Underhill Trait is something that you get at the very beginning of the game, at the very beginning of the campaign, and you can get rid of it to kind of negate an attack. Right? It's kind of like to help you out. Though we were trying to figure out exactly what we're going to do, because at one point, towards the end of the game itself, we ended up releasing the Balrog, and he started just hammering us. I mean, I ended up sneaking in like 2 or 3 damage in the middle there, but for the most part, every turn he was killing off an ally, and those other guys didn't help. So, and to say the truth, the enemies weren't even the issue. For the most part, there was like locations everywhere, but I will say. When Frodo screamed out, when Mr. Underhill screamed out, "I am Frodo," to the Balrog and stopped him from attacking, it was good times. I found the thematic. We kind of try to make it as thematic as possible, just kind of for fun. So we just assumed that Frodo was there, standing in front of, I guess, Aylmer or something like that, because I was the one being attacked. And he screamed out, "I am Frodo," and that either confused the Balrog or just kind of made him go, "Oh no, Frodo!" I don't know. I think it's more of confusion. And somehow Elmer ended up staying alive for that turn, which is kind of nice. Anyways, so that was a little story and about Underhill. Not that it really matters about why we kept it for such a long time. But we are going to be doing the Fellowship, breaking the Fellowship of the Ring. Our score was abysmal because I did keep score for the saga this far, but we have not had a single hero die yet. Other than being wiped out, we got wiped out the very first quest with the Dark Riders, and then we got wiped out again. But it seems like really the only reason that we got wiped out, well, at least the way I believe it, the only reason we got wiped out the first couple rounds of the one that we were playing the other day, the Journey Through the Dark, was because we forgot the ring, something that was kind of bad and important. But, that's it, right? I mean, after you take a break, it's really hard to get back into it. Speaking of getting back into it, we need to get back into this game. So, once again, right now, you can go ahead and say that we're going to be playing the Progression series for Lord of the Rings, the card game. And now that my rant is over, we will continue on and do what I set to do, and that is play the damn game. Hello, everybody. So I know that we're already probably knee deep into the episode here. I will say that I got disconnected from the game that I was playing So this is kind of like a redo again. And even though I'm not sure if I was actually doing all that good, I felt like it. I felt like I was in the driver's seat when Octagon decided to kick me out. If there's anybody out there who has a thing, like I'm using Wi-Fi, and I know that kind of sucks, especially for games that you need to be connected to the internet. But if there's a way to play an offline version of Octagon, or even an offline version of Lord of the Rings, the card game, please let me know. I really don't like being disconnected from the game, and for some reason, it never does reconnect. But that is just me bitching a little bit. But it's great. I mean, the game is great. It is a great platform. I just wish there was an offline option so that I can at least play the game. And the recordings don't seem to go away. I don't know what's up with that. I seem to keep my recordings seem to keep being operational. But once the game kicks me out, it decides that it's going to kick me out for good. It's closing the gates of Moria. And even if I say friend, please open the gates, it ignores me. So we're going to go ahead now and take a look here at the quest. So the quest, I do remember it. It was the quest that I was just playing a second ago. And it wasn't Journey in the Dark. No, it was the Dead Marshes with dumb Gollum. So I did lose Gollum earlier. I don't know if I'm going to post that just because it was an incomplete game. But I did lose him, and then I was kind of hoping to see him again, but I had a really low threat. So I was kind of hoping to see him again. But we'll go over it really quick again, mainly because I do kind of get a little bit frustrated when the game kicks me out and I can't get back to connect, so that I can't, do this whole thing for you guys, and I have to do it like twice or 3 times. And that sort of annoys me. And this is not the deck I'm playing. This is not the one that I wanted to play. So let's go ahead and reset. Oh, I'm distracted right now. My brain is just going with fury. A fury of anger. So anyways, the Dead Marshes is what we're doing. And we're going to go ahead and pick the deck that I was going to play with earlier. And it just didn't work out because the game decided that, at least the platform, the client decided not to. So we're playing the Force of No Return once again. You've seen this deck once before. I've seen this deck a bunch of times. Yes, I have other decks. Why don't play those other decks? I don't know. They'll be in the next one. I'll play one you haven't seen before at the next episode, okay? So here we are playing the same decks. Once again, we got Pippin, we've got Melandro, whatever, and we got Damrod. So I don't want to do the introductions. If you want to look at the deck list, I think I've made some changes to it since the last time. And I think it's for the better because I felt really good last time. So here we are. So we got Gollum up right now. That's part of the thing. The other thing that we need to do here is reveal a card from the deck based on how many players there are. It's just me, so just one card, and that's the exact same card that happened last time. So maybe we'll be able to get a repeat of what happened last time. So we're gonna put 1 resource on Gollum because I actually have lower characters, which is lucky for me. Lower heroes even, and that's it. That's all that happens there. That's a stupid picture. Okay, and yeah, so we're getting ready to play. So I go ahead now, and I don't get to refresh. I get to put some money on them, and we're going to flip that card, and we have 12 quest points. Let's see if we can get there before all the money runs out. So I got a resourceful in my hand, so I'm going to drop resourceful down for 1, and I just heard a ding. I don't know what that means, but I know that means ding, 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 dong. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put resourceful down on Damrod, and let's see him be resourceful. Let's see this guy gather all the money because we want that to happen. Speaking of money and resources, well, I guess resources more so than money, we've got a bunch of traps. So why don't we just start throwing those traps out? I know that I can get some extra cards in the mix, and that's never a bad thing. And we just got 1 more left, and you know what? I'm going to use that 1 to draw some more cards. So I'm going to draw the 3 cards here. As you can see, I'm kind of rushing a little bit. I'm sorry for everybody who's seeing this for the first time, wondering what I'm doing. But seriously, people, I was doing really well, and I was explaining all the cards. And now I'm back to this beginning stage again. Anyways. All right. You know what? Enough of my bitching, because I'm sure you guys are sick of me just whining like a little wimp here. So let's continue on, and we'll have a good game. We're going to have a good time. Speaking of good times, we're going to do some questing here. We're going to quest for 4 because I'm going to quest for everybody. Wait, probably want to make an escape test. We're going to quest for 2 in hopes that my escape test doesn't fail me completely. And we're going to reveal a card from the deck. It is Mr. Troll. He's going to get attached to the Ranger Spikes, which will reduce his threat down to a 0, which is nice. But he is pretty big. He's pretty nasty, actually. I kind of wish there was a different trap on him because I'm probably not going to engage him anytime soon. But hey, you know what? He's there. He's I don't know what he's going to be doing there, but he's there. You know, he's occupying space and time, I suppose. And it kind of looks like I don't know if there's blood underneath there or what he's chopping into, but man, I would not want to be in that storm. You know, if I was in that storm, with the lightning kind of striking down and shit in the background, I would be pretty pissed off too. So, you know, out in the rain and crap. And it's like, oh, not again. You know, he's got the axe up and he's just like trying to shield himself from the oncoming rain. Like he knows what's coming. So he's just like, no, not again. At least that's how I picture it. All right. Anyways, so here we are with the quest of 2. So it actually, both of that gets through. So 1, 2. Oh, man. And now I got an escape test because Gollum does that at the end. So we're going to try to get 2. There are some escape cards that just for 2. So let's see what happens here. That is not one of them. That is escape of 3. So that'll put 2 tokens on Gollum, which just is not good. It's just not good. So we're going to get to the next round. We will put a different, another bit of money on Damrod. And we got a bunch of stuff in down here. Oh, I forgot to draw a card from Damrod when that happens. Yes, I do that often, so I got to remember. Oh, here's a new card. Yeah, I forgot to put that in there. So I've got the River Song, which is going to let me look at the top card of the encounter deck if I don't use him for questing. I forgot all about him. That's actually really good. So, but before I do that, I'm going to put another trap out there for a cost of 1 because I think that's just a smart thing to do. We're going to put this guy out mainly because of a questing at the moment. Though I can actually find out now if the next card is going to be a good for escape or not. That's kind of cool. I did actually, to tell you the truth, I did this for a different reason because I ended up putting a different card in here with this, going back to my old school lore deck. So a little bit of from my Ranger deck that I had before. But you know what? Okay, I'll take it. I will take it. Speaking of taking it, I'm going to try and get some more traps out. So let's go ahead and put him out as well. Let's use him right away, mainly because I'm very wasteful. And look at the top 5 cards in my deck. Is there any? Oh, look at that. There's a bunch of attachments. Holy crap! I guess it's pick and choose which one I want. Well, I don't have any insoap, but there's going to be one here soon. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to shuffle that up. And he's going to be useful. I don't think he could be useful quester. May end up using for questing at first, just because I don't know. You know, there's a lot of choices being made here, and I'm sure you guys can let me know what the best choice is. But I will just go with instinct, and my instinct says Pippin and Massandra Moralre, Durgo, whatever her name is going to start questing. I'm going to keep him up for an escape test to find out if I can pass it or not. I guess at this point it's not that great. So I might end up just using him for... Yeah, I might just use him for the escape test rather than find out what that card is. Might be more useful. Let's go ahead and reveal the card and see if it's an enemy so we can get stuck on those traps and I can draw a card. So I'm questing for 4. Of course not. It's the one that's just 1 over the amount that I just quested for. Brings my threat up by 1, so if I quested with him, it would have been all right. But either way, I have the travel here. It's going to put 1 token on it. Boom, and that goes away. Not a big deal. Brought my threat by 1. Brown lands. Maybe this guy made the brown lands. Maybe he shat his pants from that thunderstorm in the background. He's like, holy crap, what was that? And look how close it is. I mean, it looks like it's right next to him. Anyways, I would have shat myself too, buddy. I would have made some brown lands of my own. All right. Now we're getting ready to do the escape test. So we're going to go ahead and do an escape test with Damrod and with the River Song guy with a complete 3. So let's go look at the next card. That's an escape of 2, so I succeeded. Oh my goodness. Maybe I'm even getting the hang of this now. And that's going to be the end of this. We're going to go to the next round, which gives him an additional resource because of resourceful. And yeah, we've got some stuff in here now. I mean, we got some ints. We got some ints. And we're going to drop one of those int down right now. In fact, we might just drop 2 of them down, because you know what? Everything's better with trees, man. I'm not a hippie or anything, but if I was, I would definitely be a tree hugger. I mean, I would hug this guy. I mean, is that a beard? It looks like it's got like a big old beard, and I mean, like a beardy, leafy beard, green beard. Maybe we'll call him Greenbeard. Greenbeard 1 and 2. Anyway, we're gonna continue on and get through the questing. Bear with me, guys. I am trying my best here. We're gonna look at the top 5 cards first and see if we can pull out something and thin that deck out. We really don't want cards. I mean, we want cards, but we don't want crappy cards. Oh my God, yes, that's exactly what I didn't want to see. But because now again, officer being shoveled back into my deck. But we got this, and that could be good for another card draw if we get another enemy. So going to the quest. I'm feeling pretty safe questing for 4, just like last time. We're gonna see. Oh no, it is. It is the Goblin Sniper who's going to start dealing damage to some people. He's going to get attached to the Ranger Spikes. Definitely not the ideal one to get attached to Ranger Spikes. But I draw a card from it. It's another resourceful. That could be useful, but I'm going to wait for a Gandalf before I make that choice. So he's going to deal damage to one of the characters I control during the end of the round, I think. Or is it at the end of the combat phase? So even worse. And I can't engage him because he's already there. So unless I get rid of him, I think he's going to be up there. I might end up having using Gandalf for other reasons if I don't have other ways to kill him. Actually, I might not have to worry. Never mind. Either way, we're going to not go anywhere, and we're not going to get into a combat. So a point of damage is going to go somewhere. I'm going to put it on this int right here. And now I have to do an escape test. So we're going to do an escape test for 3 and hope that it is good. The escape test is a 1, a solitary Uno, which means I passed the escape test. So far, so good. We're going to bring up our people here. We're going to put some money on him and see what we've got. Well, we got a bunch of card draws, what we got. And we're going to try that because I really like to get a Gandalf here. I really do. So let's get 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. We've got a Darren's Ruins. We're going to draw 2 cards. There we go. And we have discard 1. I think out of all these cards, even though he thins at the deck, I'm starting to get all my stuff now. So I can get rid of him. And Darren's Ruins, of course, goes in there. Then we're going to Darren's Ruins again. You know, like, this is great. So I have to get rid of another card. Boy, oh boy, I'm just sitting with so many cards. You know, I'm not going to be engaging anybody anytime soon. So let's drop that in there. All right. I do know I got 3 money and a bunch of cards. And, you know, I do like these Ranger Spikes. But once again, I'm greedy. So let's go look at another bunch of cards and see if we can find more stuff to take into my deck. Sooner or later, I'm not going to have any attachments. Oh, yeah, let's grab that. It's another attachment. Another attachment means another Gandalf, possibly, which can't go wrong. But I do want to spend some money here. We're going to put in a Poison Spike here. And we're going to spend 1 off of this guy. And I might just stay there. I might just stay with that. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't want to put it in. Well, you know what? I am going to spend 1 more. And that is just because I feel like I need to. So I'm going to spend 1 more because I got a lot of cards to discard now, even though there's some cards there. There's every card there I don't want to discard. But you can't help it sometimes. And I have pretty much all my traps. So we're going to have to do a questing here. And, you know, I could look at the top card to find out exactly how much I have to quest for. But man, he's actually pretty good for 1, man. I got respect. I got mad respect for this guy. And I think I'm gonna end up having to share some of that damage. Oh, stupid sniper. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. Sniper, no sniping. All right. That's stupid. All right, but I'm gonna go ahead and quest for 2, 4, 6, so a little bit more than before. Actually, I totally forgot. I had some quests over. I actually quested over by 4 last turn. Sorry about that, people. So I'm going to add those 4 to it. Not on intention, but yeah, I did quest for that amount, and it should have went over. But that's 2, 4, 6. That's how much you're questing for. Will I quest for more? I don't think there's going to be... Yeah, I quest for more. We need to get rid of this stuff. So we're going to go ahead and reveal the card. And each player must make an escape test dealing 2 cards from the encounter deck. Place 1 resource on him and then raise your threat by 1. Raising my threat by 1 could put me in a bit of a predicament. Am I going to do it? I don't think I'm going to. I'm going to go ahead and reveal the 2 cards with nothing going towards it, and hopefully there's no escape card. There's no escape card, and there is an escape card of 2. So I could have done it just with him, but I failed it, putting a resource on him, increasing my threat by 1. But you know what? That's okay. That's all right, because, I mean, I got to do another escape test in a second. So let's go see how much I beat it by this time instead of, like, skipping by. So it's 2. Actually, beat it by everything. So it's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 on this. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that beats it. We're going to get the next thing. So force, after defeating the stage, the first player chooses a player. That player makes an escape that based on the much is out there. Okay. So that's good. I got Gandalf. So I'm probably going to be playing Gandalf next. No. Yes, next turn. Right. But we do have to make another escape test as Gollum is shaking his booty there and screaming loudly into my ear. But I got a half a mind to look at the top card now, and no, I'm not. I'm going to quest for 3. There's no reason to look at the top card. Let's quest for 3. Let's look at the escape card, and let's find out if I failed it. It's not. It's not a failure. That's good, and that goes into discard. Good riddance. That's stupid. So that's actually really good. So we're going to get to the next stage now. So shoot, I forgot the point of damage from last turn. It would have been on him. Now there's going to be another point of damage because of that escape. So I mean, eesh. These guys are getting hurt. I better watch out for that. And an extra point goes here. Now I've got some stuff I want to do here. I don't know if I feel like I just want to complete this, but in the same sense, I'm kind of scared about doing so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend the 3 off this guy, put out Wishing Well Preserver. I'm going to spend only 2. I'm going to spend a 2 off that, and I'm going to put out Healer guy. Probably forgot to use him last turn, so I'm just going to use him now. I'm going to look at the top 5. And what do we got? We don't have anything. So we're just going to shuffle this up. We're going to use that healer guy right now. We're going to heal some of these wounds. I mean, this is getting ridiculous. So 1 off each those 2 characters there. That's what his ability is. I do have no money left, so I guess that's the end of all that. He comes into play exhausted. So we got to do some questing here. So 2, 4, 6. That's what we're going in for. 7, 8. I don't want to go in too hardcore. Wait, I should probably look at the card, mainly because right now I'm kind of. So I'm going to go ahead and peek at the top card as he lets me do. Exhaust him to look at the top card of the encounter deck. Let's go ahead and let's go do a little peek here. Let's do peek. There we go. Ooh, it's this card. So each player must make an encounter. Sorry, an escape test. That really sucks. Dealing 2 cards from the encounter deck. Each player then puts that many. Okay, you know what? That's okay because that means I don't even have to quest. So you know what? I'm not going to quest. Well, actually, I'm not going to quest, but he gets to do point damage. So obviously, he's going to do a point damage here. This guy, and I'm not going to quest. I'm going to just reveal that card. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's unexpected. So we got the Lights of the Dead. So this lets me reveal 2 cards. When revealed, must make an escape test, dealing 2 cards from the encounter deck. And I can't look at those cards now, but I know what I can do. I can quest with her, and I can quest with... I don't need that. Quest with this guy. And I can discard the 3 cards. I mean, that's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and reveal those 2 cards now. 1, 2. So we're looking at escape 2. So I did that, but escape 4. So if anything, I succeeded with that. But now I need to make an escape test again. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. Gotta try to remember here. Right, I did not put a point of damage in him, which I will have to do now. All right. I feel like I did that already. I'm just going to take a quick gander here. Yeah, so I already added the damage to him. Sorry about that, guys. I just forgot. Okay, yeah. Blah, 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 blah. I'm doing an escape test right now. Escape of 1, I did pass that. So we are good. And we're going to stand back up. We had another round, another game. We're going to use Darren's Ruins right off the hop to draw 2 cards and discard a single 1. We're going to discard our second copy of Treebeard. We've got a couple more solutions in there. I gave myself a little bit more money. When he stood up, he has to heal a character, so we're going to heal this guy here. And I could heal the other guy. I don't know if I want to now, to be completely honest. But, oh my goodness, I really want that right now. But, yeah. Gandalf, what shall I do with you, Gandalf? I can't play you yet, but I do know I want to play this card here. So we're going to go ahead and pay 3. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to, I really want to drop that out there. Let's go look at the top card here. Let's go peek at the top of the encounter deck here. Oh, this garbage again. Just going to get another resource. And there ain't nothing I can do about it. I guess I complete the quest, and then I might have enough. All right. Well, if that's the case, I should have done that first. I really didn't think about it. Okay, so I know what the next card is because of my really cheaty guy. So I know I can commit 3 to the quest and beat it. So if I commit him, that means I can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, I haven't. Yes, I can. Okay. No, hero. For 4 cards. All right, I'm going to try and complete this right now. So this could be bad. This could be bad. Like it's risque. I might not actually. I might not. Because 5 cards. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do it this turn. I think I'm going to do it next turn with a certain gray wizard. A certain gray wizard. So we might do that. So what we're going to do first is quest. I'm going to quest for a deuce. I'm going to drop a deuce. Gross. And we're going to get that card out. And look at that. Oh, appointed. I got to exhaust a hero and exhaust her. And that will allow me to reduce the effect by 1. So it'll put 1 token here on Golem. And that will go away. All right. And what am I going to do for the rest? I guess I could heal it up. So a point of damage will go on this guy here. Sorry, before I do that. Point of damage will go on this guy. Ow! And then I'm going to heal it up. Boop. Oh, sorry. Doot. And then I'm going to look at the top 5 cards. And do I have anything there? Yes, I do. I've got a couple things. I don't really care about much of them. I'm just going to drop this one here. And stand everybody back up. So I did make modifications to my deck, mainly because I made it more for solo. And put things there and got to shuffle up. Got to shuffle. Got to do a little shuffle. Actually, I better put that card in there and shuffle it up because I did draw a card without shuffling. All right, so there we go. Not that I didn't like it, okay? But got to play it fair. I'm going to look at the top card of the encounter deck. I'm going to see if this is over now. And that's going to do nothing to me. That literally, I don't have any locations out there. So that actually does nothing. So that means, oh, there was 2 points on this, sorry, from my last quest. Like quest for 2. Sorry, I'm doing a little bit stupid things. But that just means now that I just quest for a single 1 point, and the rest is history. So will I even bother? Oh yeah, I can drop her for all these quested points. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and drop that Grey Wizard that we mentioned before. And what will I do with that Grey Wizard? I could draw 3 cards, but I'm going to reduce my threat by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just because it's kind of like how the deck would work best. Now, I already have the quest for 1. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to quest for 1, which will complete the quest. And then let's go ahead and reveal that card. Oh, look, it's a thing I seen earlier. Each location in the staging area gets +1 threat. Oh, I don't have any location in the staging area. I guess that just goes away. So now I've got to take a point of damage, because that's what the sniper does. And now I get to quest. This has actually been pretty crazy. So that point of damage, sorry, not that, sorry, I don't even get that point of damage yet. I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself here. So we're going to go ahead now, and so we just went ahead and quested for 1, so that actually goes through. So that 1 will go on this, and that force will happen right away, before the damage, before all this stuff, okay? So after this stage is defeated, the first player chooses the player. Oh, that's me. That player must pass an escape test, dealing 1 card from the counter deck for each resource icon on Golem to capture him. If Golem is not captured this time, reset the quest back to stage B. So we don't want to do that, so we're going to quest every single person we got available, except for the one guy who doesn't do anything. So we got 5 cards, and we got a bunch of stuff. So we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can add more. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19. So we got 19 altogether. So we're going to go ahead and reveal the next 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And how many of those have escape? We've got 3, and we've got 0. We got 3. We've got a measly 3. So we'll go ahead and say that at this point I beat it by a lot more than 3. I beat it by like 16, I guess. So that means I do capture Golem, and the quest is complete. So at this point, I have just defeated the Dead Marshes with, I guess the deck actually was kind of in tune to beat it. I didn't really think about it, but I was surprised that not a whole lot of enemies came out, and they all fell into my trap. Just crazy. And so this one worked a lot better than my last one that actually bailed on me and ended up being disconnected. So at least you got to see an actual win for tonight, anyways, and listening to my really ridiculous commentary. So thanks for everybody. Thank you, and congratulations to whoever won last time. the name, I think it was Frank. Congratulations, Frank, for winning that journey along the Anduin Nightmare pack. I will do another giveaway soon enough. I don't know. We'll see when I get the drive to do it again, and then that really just gonna come from the listeners. If they want the giveaway, then you let me know. I'll get another one. So I'll be contacting you, Frank, about the deck thing. And only reason I used your full name was because that is the name of your Facebook account. So yeah, whatever. But anyways, for everybody else, thank you for watching. This was, again, the Dead Marshes, and this is part of the solo progression series. I will be doing this again soon enough, so stay tuned. And I think the next thing is Return to Mirkwood. I'm sort of surprised. I've never played that before. Maybe I'll do a one-shot and go blind and see how far I can get. Anyways, thanks for listening, and thanks for watching, and so long, people.